Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Shao here from Elevate Performance Vlog. Well, in today's video we're going to be ripping apart the K24 motor for our Track Civic. So we're going to be replacing the VCT cam gear, we're going to be doing the timing chain, we're going to be doing the tensioner, and we're also going to be putting a K20 oil pump in. Alright, so pretty much what we want to first do is we want to take off the rocker cover and take off this front cover here, and then I'm gonna undo the crank pulley, take that out, and then I'm gonna undo the sump. So I'm gonna work my way from the top down. Alright, so we're gonna start off by taking out the core packs again. Take the core pack out. So core packs off, so rocker cover off again, and then I'm gonna start to take out this bracket here, solenoid. I'll take out this solenoid here because I've got a new gasket for that coming, and then I'm gonna take out the crank pulley here. Right, so rocker cover's off. I might get this painted, but we're just gonna leave that for now. Our priority is getting this motor done. So this is the VCT cam gear that we're gonna be replacing here with a new one, 50 degree I believe it is, which allows us to advance the timing a little bit to get a bit more power. So I'm also gonna be replacing the chain, but I'm not gonna do these guides, but I'll have a quick look. If they are cracked, then I'll replace them, but if they're not, then I'm just gonna leave them because they're worth a ton. So there's I think there's like 3 guides in here. So right now we're just gonna spin this crank. Let's line up all the timing, and then we'll take this pulley bolt off. Right, so it's 19 mil. So we sort of want to spin it so that there's a mark here and there's a mark on the VCT here. So they'll meet up in the middle here. And then there's a mark on the crank pulley which will line up on this little arrow here. Alright, so you can take out the spark plugs because you're gonna get a bit of compression because I'll block these ports here. So you can take out the spark plugs to turn it easy. So I'm just gonna keep spinning it. So pretty much like that, and then there's a divot here. So there's 3. So there's 3, and then there's a 1. Alright, so if you want, you can put a drill bit back here. This is a 15/6 drill bit. So that fits nice in there, and this is just a 4.5 mil drill bit. Seems to hold in there, so I'll just leave that in there just to lock the times. You gotta just have something in there. So these all are perfect now, and this is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and crack this crank pulley bolt now. Alright guys, so this is how I've got it set up. I'm just by myself, so I've got no one to hold the tool. This is a special crank pulley tool that you can buy anywhere online. That just holds the crank pulley in place, and then you'll be able to insert a socket through. So pretty much I've got it down to this jack here, so that'll hold it in place, and then I'll be able to, and I've got this big bar here to crack the nut. Alright, so this bolt's going to be a little bit hot because I've used this butane gas just to heat it up around here. So this is a pretty nifty little thing to loosen bolts. Alright, so this crank pulley is pretty hot because I've used the gas on it, so hopefully it doesn't burn my finger. Put that there. Alright, crank pulley off. Hopefully she just comes out nice. Have a look. Alright, so crank pulley out. Got a dowel. Got a little key. Don't lose this key. So this key sits here, and that's what the crank pulley slides on here. There's a little spot for it. I think we better put this together or we're gonna lose it. Alright, so bracket off, solenoid off, sensor off, yeah, and probably the tensioner cover off too. Alright, so I just made a mad mess pulling this bloody solenoid out here, so yeah, be careful. Lucky I got a tray there, so I made a mad mess. Alright, so I guess the only thing left now is the cover. Alright guys, so pretty much got all the bolts for the front cover off, and I've also taken the bolts off the sump because I'm going to drop the sump anyways. I had 3 bolts that were connecting the sump on, so I pretty much just took all the remaining bolts off. So alright, so I'm just going to go get my my tool, and I'm just going to pry the front cover off, and then I'll pry the sump off. Alright, so if you have a look on the front cover, there's little slots where you can slide a screwdriver in. So there's one here, there's one up here, there's one here, and there's one here, and there's one up here. So pretty much you can get your little screwdriver here and just wedge it a little bit. You wiggle it around, and that will break the gasket. So this side too, like this, and then you just wriggle it out, and eventually you can pull it off. Alright, so I just had to remove this pipe that's coming off the water pump here. So I took that out, and this should just come out now. So to drop it. Alright, so that's done. Put it over here. Clean that later. Alright, this is the exciting bit now. Right, so I'm just gonna undo the tensioner here. I'm not gonna repin this because I've got a new one. So the guides look okay. The guides look pretty good. No cracks in them. So these are $100 each. So yeah, I'm just gonna undo these 2 10 mils, and then we should be able to take the chain off. Alright, so timing chain off. So this is the oil pump chain. So there's the oil pump there, massive unit. We're going to be swapping it for a K20 one. So we'll just undo the tensioner here, take out the chain, and then we'll undo the 14s, and we'll be able to drop this massive oil pump out. Alright, so here's the K24 unit. The oil pump, as you can see, it's a massive unit. Yeah, these have a balance shaft in them, so apparently when you rev it really high, this aerates the oil, so it's best to change it for a K20 one. Alright, so we've taken the oil pump chain off, we've taken the timing chain off, then I've just spun it around upside down on the engine stand here, so I have a couple of trays ready because it's about to drip coolant and oil still. So I've gone ahead now and cleaned out where all the old sealant was. So I've gone around here of where the sump is. I've nicked it a little bit, which I didn't want to do, but there's not much you can do about it. Honda Bond is the real thing. It is so hard to get off compared to other sealant. I now know why everyone recommends Honda Bond, because yeah, it was just so hard to get off. But this is all clean now. Alright, so we finally get to show you all the goodies that I've been storing. So pretty much all genuine Honda bits. So I'll start from over here. This is the VCT cam gear that we're going to be replacing. So I've got that. This is the oil pump chain, so OEM with the guide too. This is the new sump baffle that comes in this oil pump kit here. So we're going to put a new baffle in. This is the actual unit. So this is what I want to show you. This is the actual K20 oil pump unit, and as you can tell when I put it side by side with the old one, so look at that. You can tell the difference straight away. So it's a much bigger unit, the old one compared to the new one, and this one it's only got a couple of gears in there. So highly recommended if you're doing any track work or anything. It's been proven to work, so that's why we're doing it. So this pretty much is just going to sit up here like this. So this is going to sit like this, right? But what we got to do is, because the block is a little bit different to the K20, we've got to actually notch out. We've actually got to notch out a little section here, so you can actually sit and mate on properly to the K24 block. All right, so we got rear main, front seal, thermostat housing, because apparently the K20 and K24 thermostat housings, it routes the hose a different way. So there's a thermostat. Okay, here is the timing chain, so brand new one like that. I've got a new timing chain tensioner. This is just the rocket cover seal, and these are the miscellaneous seals. So VCT, I've got VCT, solenoid seal, and a couple of other oil gasket seals, just for random bits here and there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead now and start marking out this section here so I can start cutting. Alright, so just looking at the back here, there's a little rectangle section there. So I'm just going to start marking it out from there. And I'll come around to the front. Alright, so it's going to start from here, come up. I'm going to go underneath this little section here, and then I'm going to go across here and straight down. Alright, so I got the pump out here on the vise here, so just clamp it loosely, not too tight so you don't bend the pump. So I've got my markings here, so I'm going to just go ahead, get the grinder and grind it off. Alright, so made that notch there, so we'll go ahead now and just try and dummy fit it onto the block here. Right, so look at my light. So that's pretty much how it sits, how a 40 would sit, but unfortunately it's not gonna fit because this dowel's in, but this dowel is way off. So now I know why people have to grind it all the way across. Because I'm like, why do people have to grind it all the way across when we just gotta clear this section here? But now we gotta clear this bolt here. So it's not gonna go all the way back. It's touching against this little bit here. So we're gonna have to clear this whole section back here. Clear this bit. There's another section on the other side. So this whole section has to go. Alright guys, so she's all in. Just a lot of mucking around, measuring and cutting until you get it right. So all the locating mounts are all flush up against the block now. So I forgot to mention to mask up this pickup here and mask up this hole here, because that's the supply to the block and the head. So mask those up and we can see down, and that's all flush now. So I'm gonna go ahead now, take off this baffle. I'm gonna put the new baffle in, and then I'm gonna hook up the chain and the guide and the tensioner, and then the pump will be done. Alright guys, so the baffles are off. I gave it a little bit of a clean where it's gonna mate up with the new baffle. So I got rid of all the old dirt and grease and stuff like that. So the next step, we got to get rid of this little hole here. So apparently if you don't get rid of this when you do a K20 pump conversion on the K24 block, you're gonna get oil pressure issues. So what I did, I just got a screw and I hammered it into this hole here, and then I just used a pliers or something and pretty much just lifts up. So that's what it looks like. So there's a little hole here. You just punch something in there and then you can use the pliers to come out. So we gotta block this hole. It's threaded. So I've seen people use 12mm bolts. So I want to grab a 12mm bolt, silicone it up, and we can block it off. So this goes in the bin. Alright, so I've brake cleaned the hole there. It's going to be full of oil, so I found a 12mm bolt here. So what I'm going to do, I'm a little bit worried that it's going to fall out. So I'm going to put half Loctite, and I'm going to put silicone right at the end here. Alright, so that's in there now. The tip of it is Loctite, and the other end is I put silicone, so hopefully that will hold. I torqued it to around about, not too tight, probably around about 15 millimeters around there. So hopefully she holds. Alright, now we're going to put the baffle in. So here's the new baffle. And as you can see, where we put that bolt, it fits perfectly, and we just line up all the holes. So that's the baffle. We'll just go get the bolts. Alright, here are the bolts. We'll just give it a bit of a hit with the brake cleaner. Nothing too fancy. Just pop them in like so. Try not to drop anything down below, so just take your time, one at a time here. Alright, 10mm, tighten them up. Alright, we'll just go here, just nip them up. Just try to crisscross it. Alright, so they're all tightened down. That's in there, so hopefully that holds. Alright, now we're going to go ahead now and sit the oil pump and the chain and the new guide. Alright, so popping the new guide in. So it sits in there like that. Then we're just going to grab our tensioner, pop the tensioner in. Right, so the tensioner is on. For me, it doesn't look like there's no way that you can adjust it at all. It's just self-tensioning with these springs here. So looks like we've just got to nip it up. Alright guys, so I pretty much installed everything, the pump, the tensioner, the guide, and then I realized that I had to still install this little nifty item. So this is a Drag Cartel chain guide. So this sits on like this. It prevents the chains from slipping off. So I had to compress the tensioner here with the vice grips and remove the OEM guide. So pretty much this Drag Cartel chain guide sits like that. Goes into the hole, sits flush, and it sits pretty much like this. It comes with 2 Allen's bolts. So it sits like that. But the issue is that if I bolt everything up, take the tensioner off, we won't be able to fit the OEM timing chain on around this sprocket here. So I'm gonna have to leave this now, spin the motor around, and we're gonna end up doing the engine timing with the VCT first, and then we'll route the chain around here, and then we'll be able to put this new Drag Cartel chain guide on. Okay, so the motor spun back the right way around. So pretty much what we got to do now is to loosen this bolt here. So we've got to hold the cam somehow. So I believe it's like a 22 here. So we're gonna hold that, and then we're gonna crack that. So apparently that's really tight. I might get a bit of heat onto it, like I did with the crank pulley. Alright, so I've used drill bits here because I don't actually have the proper tools, but these are 5mm and they seem to fit pretty good. So that should hold the cam in place. They're still sort of alright. Yeah, that one over there is okay. Alright, so we're going to go ahead now, hold this spanner here and try to crack this. Okay, the VCT cam gear has been cracked, so it wasn't too bad. So we'll just take this out. Hopefully she doesn't drop. Bolt. Should be dialed up. Yep. Here we go. Down there. Alright, so just give that a wipe. Spray a bit of brake cleaner around the area, in the bolt hole, around over here. Alright guys, so I've sprayed brake cleaner in there. I blew it out. I just cleaned this whole surface because I don't want no oil there. I've cleaned the bolt. so no oil on the threads whatsoever. I don't like that. I might put a little bit of Loctite on there just as a preventative, but yeah, we're just going to throw on the VCT now. Alright, so here's the VCT cam gear. Just stick that on there, and that's pretty much it. So marks are here, marks up there. Doesn't seem like there's anything that needs looking at. Just throw it on, torque her up. So I might put a little bit of Loctite on this. Alright guys, so the VCT cam gear is in. I've torqued it to 83 foot-pounds, which is around about 112 Newton meters. Alright, so that's torqued up. That's lined up. That's lined up. So all we gotta do now is put the timing chain on and the tensioner. Alright guys, so she's all on now. Bit of mucking around. Had to take the top guide off so I can just get a bit more space. So I'm not sure if you can see, but the new chain has these little gold links here. So they gotta, well, they don't have to, but it's good. It's good practice just to put them where the dots are on the sprocket here. So here and here, and then that's all on. Got the tensioner on. Haven't released the pin yet because I've got to tighten the bolts. The drag cartel one's on, so there's a gold link here and there's a little dot on the sprocket which I aligned also. And yeah, so it's pretty much on. All I gotta do now is just tighten up the tensioner bolts, tighten up the guide, and release this pliers so it will apply pressure to the oil pump chain, and we're good to go. Right, so the tensioners are all tightened up. That's tightened. Drag cartel chain guide looking beautiful, even though you're not going to see it. Oil pump is all tightened up. So the only thing left now is to pull the pin. Right, so everything's ready to go now. I've taken the pins out from the back here. So this is the moment of truth. I'm just gonna give it a spin. Just spin it a couple of times, not too many times because I've got no oil in the cylinder here. Alright, so I gave it a little spin. I didn't want to spin it too much because obviously the pickup is dry and the boards are all dry, so just a couple of spins. All the timing marks have been lined up and they're all good. You're never going to line these links back up to where they were. You're going to have to turn it about 1,000 times to do it. So everything seems to be all good. Just double check everything, all the bolts. It's all looking good. So right now what we got to do is probably flip it back over and I'm going to reseal the sump. Okay, so I've just started prepping this whole surface here, getting ready for it to be resealed. So don't forget to put this trigger wheel back. That's very important. I'll just clean the whole surface here. Brake cleaner. Make sure there's no old Honda Bond anywhere. So you just want it to be use brake cleaner because the brake cleaner evaporates, so you can see sort of where you need to wipe it. So you don't want any oily residue on there, or else the sealant's not going to seal. Right, even with the front cover here, I've got a new seal for that. So we just want to make sure this section here has been wiped down, or else you're not going to get a proper seal. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead now and seal the front cover with some, I don't have Honda Bond, so JB World will have to do. Alright, so we're just gonna go and reseal this now. So just give it a hit around with a bit of sealer. Right, so this, we're just gonna let this seal. I've put a little bit too much on this side. Just good hands got a bit tired, but then just let that cure for a little bit. This side too, just let that cure for a little bit, and then we'll throw it on. Alright guys, it's starting to look more like an engine again. I put the new front seal in. I've resealed it, put it on, tightened it up. I just got to do the tensioner cover, and I'll put the solenoid back in so it doesn't leak any oil out. I'll put this coolant pipe back in, and then put the there's a little pickup sensor here for the trigger wheel. I'll put that back in, and then I'm gonna reseal the sump, and that should be it for today. Right, so I've got another little surprise for you. So here we have a PLM sump baffle that I managed to score. So it sits on like that. Pretty much stops it all going from left to right, staying where the pickup is. Something is better than nothing, you know. So yeah, let's go ahead and throw this bad boy on. Right, so these bolts got to come back off. Because we're going to be replacing them with the POM hardware. So it comes with a stud and nut kit. Okay, here are the new units. I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on them just to be safe. You don't know what can happen. So they just go in here like this. Alright, so the studs are in. I just got vice grips and just gave them a bit of a tug where there's no threads are, so they're on tight now, locked tight. So now we go and throw our spacers on here. So our spacers sit up here like this. So there are our spacers. And then we'll grab our PLM unit now. So they sit like that. Alright, so they pretty much just sit on the spacers there, as you can see. So all we got to do now is get these little washers. Make sure you don't drop any. I'll take it down there. Bit tricky because these are right underneath, so don't drop these, eh? It's hella scary. Alright, then all you know you gotta do is tighten them up. Okay, so the sump baffle is in, nice and tight, clean, pretty good unit. Looks alright, I think it'll do the job. It's got these little, this section here, so it'll do the job. Alright, let's put the sump on. Alright guys, so sump's on finally, so I'm going to leave it upside down for now, just so the front cover and the sump can seal. So just in case if we actually flip it the right way around, oil is going to drain down from the block and into the sealant here. So we're just going to leave it upside down for now, keep the oil down there, and yeah, that should be it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. We're still waiting for other bits to come. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. I know it was a pretty long video, but yeah, we got plenty done on the Track Civic. So don't forget to like and subscribe, tell all your mates, and I'll see you guys in the next video.